Eddie Hearns, Mushroom Sport, Jason Gavin, Geordie Raw, Atomic Coil, Master Dart, Daniel Brizuela, Jojo Dan, smig, Eggington, Scarka Quig, Pig Face, Crusty Neck, Anthony Jetta. Johnny Ryder, Swifty Smith, Tesco Joe M, here comes Jim, Bradley Saunders, Headbutt, Martin Murray, title shot, IFL, fight pass, Kilbrook out there getting slashed, Garrick on his silver title, Josh Warrington's wedding. We didn't run boxing, it was always fun, and it's a heartbeat honest. We didn't run boxing, but we all alive, and so it's hard to fight it. Jim Watt, Nick Holling, he don't know a fucking thing. Adam Smith, weird neck, Prince guys made him cry. Paulie's on the payroll, AJ's on the Nandrolone. Ticket touts advertised to millions by Sky. Diamond Belt, Unify, every word's a total lie. Trade fights, Brian King, MGM Huns in the ring. Gallagher, Dog Pound, the RSPCA's come round. League Mob, next big pod, brushes out a nose job. It was always fun, and it's a heartbeat honest. She got to ruin boxing, so we started like it, so we tried to fight it.
Where do you go, Cap?
Oh, sorry, I muted myself then. I was talking away. Welcome back to the Next Big Pod, episode 94. As professional as ever. We've got a massive fight to preview. Two of the best pound for pound in the world over in Germany with Smith and Zoiga. And then we've got that little bum fight in Las Vegas to talk about. But before we get on to them, we're going to go to Belfast, where a Bristol boy, like my good self, Lee Askins, got his cunt kicked in one of the worst fights of the year so far. I haven't really got much to say about this other than that I just didn't enjoy any second of it. I'm not even a Lee Haskins fan. I know I play up on here every now and then and say I am, but I'm not really. He's awful to watch. If you're ever struggling to sleep, if you go and watch the Don Broaders fight, you'll be asleep in seconds. The Stuart Hall fight, both of them, shit. He's just not entertaining to watch. He's got a really horrible style. He's always head clashes. I'm kind of glad he's lost. There's the end of him now. Burnett, what do you say about him as well? I don't really think much of Burnett. I know it's early days for him, and we remain to be, I do want to bring this up with you. Very suspicious with him and his dad. There was a bit too touchy-feely for my liking. They had a touch of the bends about him. But all in all, it was a terrible night boxing on Sky, which we're getting accustomed to. I don't want to be too miserable because we've only just started and people will be moaning straight away.
Did you just watch the round?
Of it, yeah. I didn't watch anything on. Ainsley was watching it on Facebook. All that crap, but I didn't watch any of that. I just watched it as soon as it went live.
Losers, man.
What was that, mate?
Losers, man. I would never. I only tuned into the main event.
Why?
Why are you telling me you didn't want to see Mike Perez?
I seen that. I seen that on fucking YouTube. That was an absolute piss take. That looked like a dive. What was the matter with the guy? How come he ended up in the wheelchair?
He rolled his ankle, so to say.
He rolled an ankle, then he had to get a wheelchair.
Yeah. Anyway, Brian, do you want to give us your breakdown of the fight, if you can remember what happened?
What's that?
Do you want to give a breakdown of the fight, what you thought was good, what you thought was bad? And you've got opinions, don't you, usually? Do you remember anything about it at all? Burnett and Haskins.
You're excited about it, right? I can tell.
It was really, really sloppy. You know, Hank, it was like just too. You know, how when you play like I can't remember what fucking Street Fighter it was, but the characters were just rapid as fuck, and before you knew it, when you were at one end of the screen to the other end of the screen trying to throw a bolo punch. But that's what it was like. The two of them were just really, really ragged and just fucking throwing punches from about 5 feet away, like in and out, head clashes all the time. But to be fair, like I didn't know. I don't think anybody was confident other than like fucking the mad crazy Irish that were picking Burnett. Like Burnett didn't show nothing in any previous fights that he was capable of winning. I'm not saying Haskins is great or none, but he's really awkward and he is quite quite a decent, like, slick type of boxer for being a honky, but he absolutely fucking schooled him. Absolutely schooled him. And it got to the end, I thought that maybe the referee could have maybe stopped it. It was just I'm not saying he was taking an absolute beating, but it was getting uncomfortable to watch. There wasn't really much coming back. But I'm not going to do like a coalition kind of thing here and break down the styles and what they've done right and what they've done wrong, because it was pretty shit.
That's fair enough.
It was really,
it was. There's no other way to describe it other than it was a shit fight.
At 10 o'clock at night when you tune into the coalition, you can break it down with some sort of fucking rear punch and all that, and he'll break it down. I'm not interested in that. The fight was absolutely shite. It was like, I gave like Haskins the first round, and I thought he bossed the first round. Like, I seen other people saying, no, did he fuck? Burnett hit him with 3 clear punches. I was like, oh wow, 3 clear punches. Oh, fucking pull your bow out and wank the fucking tits right off it. But other than that, no. But it's fucking garbage.
What's your opinion of the Irish? Because it's changed the last couple of days, I've noticed in the WhatsApp chat. What has changed your mind of them?
DP, man, like, you know how they remind me of the Scousers. It doesn't matter if you walked in and there was somebody like fucking stabbing your mum, and they'd be like, what nationality? Or, hello, to be sure, they'd be like, oh, he's Irish, it's fucking cool, man, carry on regardless, I'm going down the state to make some toast. They just, it doesn't matter what, honestly, see if somebody trains in Ireland, they just claim him, and I was like, you're a weirdo, an absolute fucking weirdo, and it is a bit off-putting, and it is like the same as the Scousers. Like, I've seen now the Scousers are changing it for Gareth A. Davis runs the bed pot. Fuck off, you fucking retard, Colin. I've lost my train of thought. Is that the fucking Mad Diary, Colin?
Yeah, that's that Colin.
What was I saying? He's made me totally forget. What was I talking about there?
About the Irish and Scouse. I know they're weird.
Aye. Let's see if somebody like kind of just trains in Ireland, that they get right behind them and just try to claim them as their own, and it's just weird. There's absolutely no fucking middle ground with them. It's just there's no even fucking like good or bad. It's just every cunt's amazing. Every cunt's just fucking absolutely amazing. There could be a guy, an Irish guy with a record of 100 losses and 0 wins, and they'd be like, aye, but he's fucking mint it, isn't he? He's amazing, isn't he? Oh, it's
some of them genuinely believe like Spike would beat Golovkin, for example.
Aye, they're absolute fucking weirdos. Absolute weirdos. Like, and you know what the worst it is too? They don't go out and support their boxers. This is what I'm saying. Like they remind me so much of like the Scousers, like, because like Liverpool supply so many boxers, right? And they're so vocal on Twitter and social media, but you've only got Bellew that sells tickets. The rest of them don't sell shit. And see, when you look at like Belfast and like Ireland, they don't come out and support their fighters. I mean, that crowd at the weekend, they were really loud. See, for the fact the amount of people that are in it, I'll give them a juicy Belfast crowd. It's absolute carnage. But that hall was about fucking a quarter full. At the weekend, there's the Paddy Barnes and that is fighting. They're not going to turn up for that. They're miserable tight bastards over in Ireland. Right fucking tight cunts. No wonder Michael Conlon fucked off to America. Yous Irish cunts are miserable tight bastards. I fucking hate yous. Cunts. Now you've got me started and I've just... it's like fucking 10 minutes in and I'm absolutely raging.
Well, should we just move on from that Belfast card? Because there is literally nothing to talk about it.
No, it was a good win, though. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was a good win, but Haskins is... It's hard to know where to rank that, because Haskins he probably should have lost a haul.
I don't know. I had money on Haskins to win that fight, and I was at it, so I was happy that he won. I don't think it was like a robbery the way people. Maybe the scorecards were bad, but you didn't see him like fucking raging about that. But I think that's something that we can kind of talk about. Give Burnett his due. It was a really, really good win. I thought Haskins would have probably won it in points, but to get to a world title fight, and that's exactly what it was. It was a world title. It was a legit world title. To win 11 out of the 12 rounds against a seasoned pro. This boy's only had like 16 fights, and the fact that you know how sometimes when somebody gets that head cut, they don't know how to react to it and just totally panic. He didn't. His fucking face was a mess with that cut. and he boxed fine. I know it was really, really sloppy in that, but I think with time, he gathers a wee bit more experience, he'll be like decent. But the bell holders in that division are fucking beasts. He's not beating any of them, I can tell you that right now.
No, that's what I mean. Like, he's just going to hold a belt now and do nothing with it for a while. Just sit on it, fighting Stuart Hall a couple of times.
Oh no,
He'll
he'll
fight
do exactly what
fucking-
he done with Ricky Burns. He'll just basically fucking get the fans over in Ireland and just try to melt the titties off the Irish. And we know the Irish are tight bastards, so they'll not spend their money
Why are the only
unless
one
it's Carl
that-
Frampton.
I'm probably the only one that doesn't really rate Haskins at all. Like, what's his best win? Fucking Jamie McDonald, like 10 years ago.
No, it's the
when-
Irish fella. No, it's Irish fella. It's a Japanese fella. What's his name? I was there. Ryasa Iwasa.
Iwasa. I mean,
Yeah, Ryosuke Iwasa. Yeah, I'm just
I know
looking
he's
now.
got this. I know he's yeah. You say he's a seasoned pro and he's got experience, but this wasn't world level. This wasn't anywhere close to world level. Fucking Lee Haskins.
No,
won his
that's
belt-
European level, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, lower than that even. I mean, Lee Haskins won his belt on the scales. That's it. He hasn't fought anyone decent since then. Fought Stuart Hall and lost to Stuart Hall. Stuart Hall's had about 10 million fucking shots at this belt. I don't know how he keeps getting it. He must have fucking pictures of the IBF guy, not some kids or something. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, he lost that fight, and yeah, Haskins. He's awkward and he's difficult to look good against. So fair play to Burnett in that he did look good against him. He was landing that right hand all night. Yeah, the fight itself was sloppy. We knew it would be, but I just don't really rate Haskins that much. He's done nothing at all, especially compared to the champions in the division. I mean, if you want to call McDonald a champion, not it's up to you, but he's got wins that completely eclipse anything that Haskins has done. The Kameda fights, yeah, some people might say that he lost those. I thought he lost at least one of them, but I don't know. I just don't rate Haskins at all. I just think he's Euro level at best. And this Burnett fight, yeah, it was a jump up for him because his best was British level, only one really good win, I'd say. But we all knew from the eye test then, and I hate using the eye test thing, but I thought that he was going to smash it, Haskins. I thought that points was an easy bet.
Well, I can't. Well, I know Haskins won the belt on the scales, and I don't think who was it? Modern Broadcast says Burnett's got immediate mandatory unless he chases a unification. That's right. I don't think Haskins thought he's mandatory either because he was meant to go to Japan as well. Fucked up with the injury for that. He fought Stuart Hall. Stuart Hall wasn't his mandatory, was it?
Might have been.
I think Stuart Hall was.
Fuck's sake. Right, so Stuart Hall's like number 7 in these rankings again. I don't know any of the people that Emmanuel Rodriguez, Rodrigo Guerrero. I don't know any. Paul Butler was number 5. I mean, unless I say to you in the chat, unless Haskins was offered career high money to fight Burnett, which wouldn't be a lot considering he's a midget, right? So it wouldn't take a lot of money, but a career high money. I don't know why he took this fucking fight. Paul Butler was
They was cashing him out. They was cashing him out from what I know from around here. Because he's fucked. He was on local news saying he's had enough now. He just wants to start training. He's not enjoying it anymore. The training lark and that. His son, you see that?
Does he want a farm?
Is he wanting a what?
Does he work in a farm?
I can't understand what you're saying.
Does he work in a farm?
A farm, not farm. No, he don't work on a farm. He wants to train his boy. You've seen that the kiddie next to him in the like pink suit, that horrible thing. That's his son. His son's half decent. He just wants to train in.
What if he was just going
Can't
to
bother
cash
with the
out?
training anymore.
Surely someone like Yaman, if he was just going to cash out, surely someone like Yamanaka would have paid a lot.
Well, that's why he was going to Japan, and then that fell through. That went tits up.
I remember that being talked about actually for a while in Unified.
No, it was signed. He was going to Japan. Then fella got injured, didn't he? And it fell through.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was a cash out for him. He wasn't going over to win.
Oh, I can't imagine Hearn paying much, especially considering.
No, but still, if you're a midget and you've only fought on TV for like 10 of your fights, most of them being on Channel 5,
yeah, I guess.
50 grand to you, that's a lot of money. I mean, he's proper scum as well, Lee Haskins is. That lives in a shithole.
Where's Bristol, mate?
Yeah. It's a palace compared to at Glasgow, I imagine. Where's Brian's from Lanarkshire, isn't he? Wherever that is.
Fucking North Lanarkshire, hello?
If you want to know where he lives, ask Eddie Earney, he'll tell you.
He's got my fucking address. But that undercard was shite. I didn't watch any of it, so, but I know it'd have been shite anyway.
No, it was really
Just
bad.
looks as if it's all fucking pure Irish bums and all.
Like Irish smoke.
The Tennyson and was it Tennyson and Doyle? That was quite good while it lasted. That one. Doyle came in on a late notice. He was training for a 6 rounder, and you could tell because by the time it got to 5 rounds, he was spent. Then he just got picked off and finished. But Doyle gave a good account of himself. I'd like to see that again, with Doyle doing a full camp for the 10 rounds, because that was quite good. I mean, a bit of a zoomer fight, like nothing you'd be interested in, but at a lower level, half decent.
I just can't get into watching the. See, if I don't know who it is and I've got absolutely no vested interest in it, I'm just not going to go and get my way to watch it. Like the same as like I see that next gen for Sky. I'm not watching that because I couldn't care less about people that. It's all very well like me going to like amateur fights round about my local area, like to go and watch like fucking 4 rounders and all that. Like it's fine. I'm alright with that. I'm not going to sit and invest my time on a Sky Sports on a Saturday night to watch fuckers people fighting absolute bums. Then next generation, you've got like about 7 people that's over fucking 30. Absolute shite card. So no, if I don't know who it is, I'm not interested. I'm not going to watch it. Why waste my time?
I don't blame you.
Well,
It's not for everyone.
that card was fucking shite anyway.
No, I said this in the chat that I don't mind watching fights that are competitive, much at like area level, really sort of grassroots level. I mind watching that, but with Sky, you do expect a certain amount of fucking quality. You do expect a minimum amount of talent available to you. For I don't pay for it, but people do pay for it, and you expect something back. Especially considering all the good fights and all the top talent does end up on pay per view these days. You expect the Bear Sky shows to at least have something decent to encourage the casual fan to tune in more, possibly buy some of the pay per views, but obviously not.
Now, well, I'm sure we can share. When is that next gen card? Is
I don't even know. I haven't paid no attention to it at all.
fucking him. Right, move on, man. That's fucking that Belfast card's absolutely depressed me already.
Yeah, I tried moving on like 10 minutes ago, but you weren't having it. Eubank Abraham. I've seen this fight get praised, and I can't really figure out why. I mean, I know I'm being negative. I'm taking Ainsley's role, but if you was giving me this fight 18 months, 2 years ago, I'd have liked it. But since Abraham got battered by Ramirez, who I don't think is very good himself, I don't really see the point of it. It would just be the same. It would be the same. It would be a 1 round fight done 12 times over. If you know what I mean, it'd be the same round continuously with Abraham doing nothing and Eubank just smashing his gloves for 2 minutes 30, and then Abraham might come back and land 1 or 2 shots, and it would just be that same pattern over again. And you'll either get a British stoppage when Abraham's in no danger at all, no trouble, he's just teeing off at gloves on the ropes and he'll get stopped, or you'll get a 120-108. And then after that, Eubank will be in there kissing his dad, and everyone will say, "Is his dad nonced him?" That is what will happen. And I know, like Si was telling us about the undercard, but again, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't want to see small lads on that undercard pay-per-view. I just don't care.
Is there been announcement of undercard? Because I was told it, but I didn't know whether I had to say anything, so I didn't really.
It's been announced, yeah.
But is it?
Huh?
Who is it?
I don't know. Any fuck me, I ain't got a clue.
I was told it was like, is it no fucking, is it no like British title fight? It's on the undercard. Like
Robbie Davies Jr.'s on it, isn't he?
Oh yeah, against nobody. Ward and that Kakachi, that's what he's on it.
Aye.
That's a good fight.
I was told that fucking David Price might be returning on it as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, Martin J. Ward and Kakachi, and Robbie Davies Jr. versus Tom Bob Anderson.
I'm not going to pay for this fight because I'll definitely get like streaming on Facebook for it. But I don't think it's the worst. He considering what he was trying to get and like what he's now got. It's,
Oh, and yeah, considering he was going after Anthony Mundine, I mean, this is much better than that.
Not much
I mean,
better.
I definitely think, I do believe that Eubank's going to stop him. I don't think Eubank's getting any power, but I think the amount of fucking punches he throws, he'll get like a British stoppage. I
Yeah,
don't even,
that's what I just said. It won't be a reserve stoppage, and Abraham won't be in any trouble at all, but he'll get stopped on the ropes.
the thing is with Abraham, I don't even think he's, I don't even think he needs the money. He's absolutely loaded. I just think he's just doing it now just for the sake of having more money. It's not that he's skinting on it. Does he not drive about in Ferraris and shit like that? He does. He turns up at the press conferences in Ferraris and stuff.
I can't imagine he's going to get him paid a fuckload for this.
Well, he'll be getting the German TV money for that.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. Who's he got? RTL or something? One of them terrestrials, isn't it, over there?
But I don't think it's the worst fight. It could have been terrible. But they were trying to get John Ryder, and we all know fucking John Ryder can't even win a British title. Never mind an IBO.
A very prestigious IBO. Seen Femi parading
So,
that round on Graham Norton.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking big fag bastard. But aye, it's good that I mean, I've never ever rated Abraham. I know a lot of people were high on him, but I can barely remember him for the middleweight days. I really can't. I'm fucking having to scratch.
Hey, if Carl Frotz can make you look like a bum, you're not very good, are you? If Carl Frotz can box your ears off,
But Froch was like
you're nothing special.
Froch was a good boxer in the amateurs. It just so happened to notice that he had a fucking cracking chin and decided to use that instead. But it's not the worst fight. But
Well, if you look at it, in the Super Six, he got beat by Andre Durrell, beat by Frotch, and beat by Ward. So anyone decent he's come up against, he's lost to. He lost to Stieglitz once, didn't he? I know he's got a few wins over him as well. Yeah, he struggled. Well, struggled, not the right word. He was competitive with Paul Smith, or Paul Smith was competitive with him, rather. Martin Murray, again, very close. He lost to Ramirez, 121.08. He's just lost to anyone half decent he's come up against.
I think you only ever look.
He's lucky because he's German, and they'll literally watch you against shit, and no one cares.
I think you only look mediocre against fucking Smith and Murray because he's so fucking lazy. He's become even lazier than he was back in the day. He just doesn't throw any punches. And like I said, that really correlated in the Ramirez fight where he just didn't throw punches. I think I struggle to remember what he did in that. I think he just lost every second of every round in that fight. It was an absolute embarrassment. That's why this fight's embarrassing because he's just going to do nothing.
you know, I can't remember what podcast I was listening to saying that what Eubank should maybe do because like he's high guard is like to go to the body more. But see when you actually think about it, see that because the way he closes up, he covers his fucking sides as well as much as his face. He tucks his head down and tucks his elbows into his waist, so you can barely fucking get a touch. He can't punch anything other than his arms. He's got
He's only small as well. He's not a big fella either, as he's small, so he's all compact. He's like you say, his elbows are in as well, so he can't get his body.
He reminds me a bit of Winky Wright, just the way that he kind of tucks himself fucking right into a defence and he can't get nothing off. But I would definitely think that Eubank's nothing special. I've always shot on him. But throws punches with 2 feet off the air. Tries to do an uppercut from 10 yards away and throws about 5 million punches and about 2 of them land. But I'm pretty sure that the fact that he's got a serious gas tank. So see the fact that he'll just constantly throw punches, it's going to offset Abraham to the fact that he's never going to be able to throw just one jab. Anytime you throw a jab, Eubank's probably going to throw about 20. So it should be an easy win. And I heard Eubank saying that I don't bother about the haters and all that. They motivate me and stuff. You do, you fucking... Everybody bothers about haters. Absolutely everybody. Everybody wants haters as well. Floyd fucking marketed to perfection. The more people hated him, the more tuned in to see him fucking go to 49-0. Soon he'll be 50-0 in August. Oh, 50-0, baby. Breaking then it'll be fucking all-time great. It'll be the Mayweather curse. Yeah. Right, so we've ticked that off. Where are we going now? Right, I put on that Saunders fucking Golovkin thing. But all I wanted to say was, if Saunders had anything about him, he should be getting Frank Warren to make phone calls to Golden Boy to basically turn around and say, you know what, put me on the undercard to that, because there's still 3 months to go, so that's basically a full training camp. I know he had he's basically done a training camp for Kutsaidsy, so all he needs to do is take a couple of weeks off, then get straight back into training camp, and that basically means that he'll be flying, right?
If you had a choice out of Lemieux versus Jacobs or Lemieux versus Saunders, I'll take Lemieux versus Jacobs all day.
I know, but why would Lemieux want to fight Jacobs when he could fight somebody I think would be an easier fight, a less punishing fight, and reward a belt at the end of it?
Oh, I suppose, but then at the same time, HBO got to weigh it up, haven't they, and think, does anyone over in the States know who Saunders is? Is he reliable?
Well, he's
no, and no to both of them. So for them to turn around and say, "Oh, let's get Saunders on this card," it don't really make no sense, because no cunt will know who he is, and the chances are I probably pull out.
But they're going to fucking fight anyway. Definitely, whoever wins this fight in September is going to have to fight Golovkin. No, Saunders. Sorry.
I suppose.
So basically, it'd be better off kind of just putting the two belt holders at that division in with the one on undercard, and just basically what they can do, whatever says, they can have just say Canelo wins, then that means if Saunders beats Lemieux, they can build that fight up to next May.
Saunders ain't beating Lemieux. Lemieux will batter him.
I don't think so, man. I think people underrate Saunders. I know he looked terrible in his last fucking fight and everything, but I know you're only as good as your last fight. But Saunders is underrated. See for a guy that never really fights now, his resume is decent. See all the undefeated fighters he was fighting, and then he beat Andy Lee, who people thought was going to knock him out. So I think he schooled Eubank. I don't get this. This was a fucking tight split decision. I had it nowhere near close. He just basically fucked his career up, a bit like Tyson Fury. Fucked his career up by just no fighting, getting off the rails, partying, eating, doing whatever he wanted. But I think it'd be a smart move. But also, I think they need to really fucking stack this undercard, I know.
Yeah, but then also you've got to think, why would Frank let him go on there? Because it'll end up on Sky, not Box Nation, wouldn't it? From what Hearn's been saying, it's already a done deal that it's on Sky. So,
well, fucking shit, Ham. Something. Well, what do you want? Do you want your guy just never ever to fucking fight and not get any exposure? Your best point is to get exposure, even if it's on Sky. Get exposure, then bring him. Then basically what you've got is that if you win that fight, you've been on undercard in the biggest fight of the year, and then you're building up to fight the winner next year, and it'll be on B.
Yeah, I agree with you, but in an ideal world, that's what would happen, but we don't live in an ideal world, so it won't happen. We'll get Billy Joe Saunders versus probably Spike or something in end of September, start of October.
I'm disappointed that fight's not happening at Kovalev, but you can't blame Frank for it. For the first time, you can't fucking blame Frank.
That's bad luck, that.
I know. See when you're basically going to fight a guy that is in an Eastern European mob, what are you meant to do? It's mental how like people thought he was some sort of mad joke figure. He looked evil, not, but he's like, look at him, he's just always laughing and smiling. But you know how you watch the kind of gangster films, the ones that kind of act a bit dopey, end up being absolute maniacs. He's probably the fucking enforcer. He's an absolute fucking screwball. That is absolutely crazy, that story. If nobody knows what we're talking about, Google Kutsaidsy and read the story. He's an absolute maniac. Right, so how long's that been? Half an hour. Right, fuck it, Mum, we're going to talk about what Ward Kovalev. so we can shit on Ward for a wee while. Is Alex there?
Yeah, man.
Right, on you go, Cap.
What are we doing?
We're going to go into Ward Kovalev.
All right, then. Just quickly, the pair of you, who do you see winning this? Just don't give me a breakdown. Just give me a quick who's going to win.
Kovalev.
I'm massively
Kovalev, Brian, you going Kovalev as well?
I'm massively confident that Kovalev's going to absolutely ruin him this time. And I've not went out on a limb since the Hay fight because it took me forever to recover my confidence.
You fucked it, didn't you? I think you're setting yourself up for disappointment again, mate.
I don't know. You know how the people turn around and saying that Ward adjusted in the first fight? I don't believe he did adjust because he was still fucking losing later rounds. Like, see this like adjustment? I just believe this is a racial thing. Like, it's only black fighters that can seem to adjust. It's wrong. I believe Kovalev's a better boxer. He proved that in that fucking fight. Maybe like Ward is like the smarter fighter, like the slick boxer, like sort of type that he makes people miss. But I definitely believe that Kovalev's a better boxer. He outboxed him for most of that fucking fight. I refuse to acknowledge any person that had Ward winning that fight. I know Macho might turn up shortly. He might not. He had Ward fight finish that. There's absolutely no fucking way that Ward won 7 or 8, 12 rounds. Absolutely no fucking danger. I refuse to debate it. That is absolutely no way that Ward won 7 or 8 rounds. Absolute fucking joke.
Like I said on here before, I think the best you can give Ward, the absolute best, is 6 rounds. But even with 6, he would still lose because of the knockdown.
Exactly. So basically, what you're doing is you're giving like Kovalev 3 in the first 3 rounds, and then you're only giving him 2 in the next.
Sky have put it on demand now. They've got the first fight on demand. I watched it earlier on, and Kovalev is just beating fuck out of him in the first 3 rounds. The second round's actually brutal. Like, Ward's all over the place. Then he gets dropped with a jab.
Me personally, I don't believe any of the excuses that Kovalev's saying that he gassed.
No, neither do I. I was going to get onto that. Like, he said he looked shit in the Chilemba fight because he didn't train enough. Then he said he didn't look as great even though he won in the Kovalev fight because he overtrained. No. So if you have a bad performance, just own it. Just say, I can be better next time. You don't have to make up shit. It's like Golovkin after the Jacobs fight saying, "No, I wanted to go 12 rounds." No, you fucking didn't. Just say it was the best person you fought and it was a hard fight. Simple as that. You don't need to chat shit.
I don't believe any professional at that level overtrains for any fight because they know what they need to do to get ready and to peak. I do know. It's something that I don't believe. Many people do you know that overtrains for a fucking fight? None.
I said to Dewey when we did the after fight podcast after, I said to Dewey that Kovalev's corner was a bit of a mess. Like, John David Jackson was having to talk to that Russian fella, and then the Russian fella would relay it back.
Aye.
And I was saying to Dave, I said I never like when there's an interpreter in the corner because you never really know what the interpreter is saying. I think stuff gets lost. But John David Jackson said in that Kovalev, the preview show for the second fight, that he was told he wasn't working the corner. So there's definitely something's gone on between the pair of them. And obviously we now know that John David Jackson or Ward, whatever way you want to believe it, has been talking to the other about him switching sides. But I don't know. I do think that'll play a part. Because unlike Ward, where Ward could train himself, Virgil Hunter's just there to whisper sweet nothings in his ear and give him encouragement. Kovalev needs someone in the corner to give him instruction.
I said that at the weekend. That I believe that Robert Garcia is a better trainer than Virgil Hunter. I thought it would be a wee bit controversial.
I agreed with you, didn't I? We was it was the Jew fella from that other pod.
Aye.
Will Michael, whatever his name is, yeah.
It's like my point of view is that he done a good job with Rios, right? His wee brother that he's trained is total world class, maybe elite. I'm not wanting to push that boat yet, but if it does a pure number on like Adrian Broner, I might fucking go there, right? I believe that.
Well, look, Chino gave Floyd hell as well the first fight.
Look at the fucking improvement he made with Maidana, right? This is something like Virgil Hunter doesn't do. Now people turn around and say he improved like Can. No, he didn't. What he done was he made Can hold more. So he would make Can maybe that is an improvement.
I'll tell you what way to describe it. Can is exactly the same defensively, because you're never going to improve that chin, and he's no better defensively than he was under Roach, but offensively, he's nowhere near as good as he was.
No.
All that Virgil Hunter's done is make him more defensively minded. His defense ain't no better. He just doesn't fight offensively like he used to.
Yeah, and eventually Can gets into that fucking fight mode, didn't he? And we've seen that in...
Yeah, because he gets clipped, and he gets clipped, and then that's it. But at least with Roach, he was lightning fast going forward. And offensively, Cam was brilliant, and he's not the same offensive fighter as he used to be, but his defence ain't no better to compensate for that.
Aye, so get back to
And look at the other ones. Look at the other ones. Berto, shit. From Farah, shit. Struggled with Chad Dawson. Just got icing around off Stevenson, who we went close with before.
this is my point. Like I see, like, I don't particularly give like Roger Mayweather like massive credit for the job that he done with Floyd, right? Because I believe that Floyd was probably just born with natural talent, but at the same time he was born into a fucking family of boxers, right? So he was obviously going to pick stuff up there. The difference is with Floyd is you could see the total difference in the fighter when Roger was training him with his dad. There was total differences. So you could see he was picking up things for like his uncle and his old man, right? But this is the same as they didn't really train other fighters. And no, Roger trained.
He trained the bird, didn't he? He trained Ali's daughter. Or was that Floyd Senior that trained?
Who was it? Who was the guy that fought like Manny Pacquiao last year? Was it Vargas?
Yeah.
Right, he trained him for a while and he fucked off, right? And we've seen. I don't particularly think that Floyd's old man, Jesse Vargas. I don't think Floyd's old man was a good trainer. Look what he done with Hatton. He was an absolute mess. He trained with Oscar De La Hoya. People turn around and say that he got a lot out of Oscar, but at the same time, nah. I just think that guys that are predominantly with just one superstar boxer, like we seem like people like to shit on like fucking Roach, but you can see
an
Roach
example
actually
closer to home for you is would be Enzo and Joe, wouldn't it?
Aye, but Enzo did an alright job with fucking Big Enzo Maccarinelli.
Yeah, I suppose he did. Yeah, I suppose you're right. But he's not a trainer with any sort of formal qualification. He didn't box himself.
And he's also
just trained his fighters to throw a shit ton of punches, didn't he? Like cleverly picked that up from him.
Aye, basically, he get the best out of Cleverly as well. I think Cleverly was never the fucking same when he left him, but so back to the fight. Like, I don't believe that Ward adjusted to this point where what he's done was he's figured out Kovalev. This again, I think this comes back to racial differences. Like Ward figured out Kovalev, so he's going to be the better fighter in there. So tell me, is it impossible for Kovalev to have figured out Ward, that what he done wrong in that fight, to be even better in the second time around? It just seems as if it's totally weighed in one direction. Where
I thought that when I was watching this fight earlier on, I think Kovalev knocking Ward down was the best and worst thing that could have happened to him, because he knocked him down so early with such a shit punch. He just thought, all I got to do is land again, and this is done. So he went headhunting.
Yeah,
he just made that
point. He needs to. If I had full leverage in that punch, even it wasn't even a good punch that I hit him with. I didn't even hit him with the knuckle part of my fist. He's like, if I hit him fucking flush on it, it'd have been a different story.
He basically just needs to do his thing, just fight his fight. Like if he fights the way he did against Hopkins, that Ward now isn't the same Ward of 3 years ago. He beats.
The people
by being aggressive.
People might cast this podcast up, right? Right, for what I've said, but I honestly believe that he is capable of outboxing Ward for that full fucking duration. Like you said with the Hopkins fight, I believe he is a far better boxer. Like people just automatically think because Ward
at medium range with the straight punches, Ward can't live with him. He needs to get in close. He needs to start grabbing and making it ugly, in on the blind side, elbows, head. He needs to make it ugly. That was the only round he was having success in, was when it got ugly. But
Kovalev was doing well.
If we go with what Kovalev said, then Kovalev was tired.
Kovalev was doing well when they were clinching, though. He was like kind of fucking hitting them dirty punches. Not that's what he needs to do. Just elbow him in the face or anything. Just be dirty. Just fucking don't let him away with it. Or even like just throw your jab more so he can't get in. Like make sure that it's not a predictable jab. Like get Seb on here and he can talk about the differences and like speed jab, like fucking up jab, down jab, like things like that. Just change up your jab so Ward can't basically come in and like clinch on you, but that's what he does. And just be a right dirty bastard. See if Ward does come in, do like a UFC and fucking throw a punch but turn it into an elbow and split him wide open.
Do you think
We know Kovalev's spiteful. We know he's a dirty bastard. So there's no reason why he shouldn't. When Ward is clinching or when the clinch breaks, just fucking it straight away. Just throw off the clinch. Don't wait to be broke up. Just break it up yourself. Be dirty, roughhousing.
we know that Kovalev has got really fucking ratty about the scorecards, and he's really held that. I think I don't think it's promotion. I think that he's generally been pissed off by that he thought he was wronged and he was robbed. And, I agree, but do you think he's going to fight differently because of that? Do you think he's not going to want to leave anything to the judges again? Because it is American judges again, isn't it?
Yes, Feldman and
Wisefield,
Trowbridge, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you think he's just going to
One of them. They all got two names, haven't
Do
they?
you think he's going to get a bit emotional about that? Do you think he's going to fight differently, thinking, "Oh, I'm not going to let those cunts rob me again. I'm going to spark him. I'm going to go ahead and have a bit more." Or is he just going to fight his fight? Because I do think he can be a bit of an emotional fighter. He can get very temperamental. I mean, we saw that in Pascal fights. I think he got a bit over the top, and he got caught quite a bit against Pascal. Yeah. Do you think that could be an issue?
You make a good point. No, like what they say, don't they? You shouldn't fight on emotion because you don't fight your fight then. We'll know on Saturday night, Sunday morning.
But it's different courses for different horses.
Because I can't see Ward getting upset. Ward doesn't seem to ever get in an emotional fight or get married. He would just be cool as fuck and just be a knob as he usually is, and he'll fight his fight. Even try and wind Kovalev up even more if possible, but Kovalev is definitely a very temperamental fighter.
Kovalev should basically just at the press conference, Kovalev's this type of person where he is a bad bastard, he doesn't really care, and he doesn't give a fuck about the Americans that like him. You know what he just should turn around and say? He should just bring up his dad and just say, "Listen, man, your dad was a quitter, and I'm going to make you fucking quit as well." Should just bring shit up, just get right in his fucking head. You know how they've tried to use like mind games, like saying, "Oh, we're basically trying to get John David Jackson in our team and all that," which is complete and utter bullshit, right? Kovalev will not be stupid enough to actually believe that. I think it's fucking shite. It's like cheap, and like what I find is, see if a guy's like trying to play mind games non-stop, then he's worried. He's really fucking worried about this fucking fight, and he's using every possibility.
Did you watch the Jackson interview with Steve Kim, where Steve Kim asked him and John David Jackson admits there was conversation? So it's not bullshit. It is true.
It's not, but it's bullshit. Like,
oh yeah, it's bullshit, but it's not a lie.
It's bullshit that anything was going to harm. Like some fucking world class trainers just going to like leave the guy that he's been with for years. That's his bread and butter to go to another team that's already got like a head trainer. Like it's just stupid. What it is it's just like Ward's camp trying to shit stuff.
Macho. Wait,
yeah,
Greek.
Yeah.
Because you're the only cunt I know that, other than a few spastics, thought that Ward actually won.
Yep.
Can you tell us where he won that fight and where Kovalev lost it? Because for the life of me, I can't see it.
Well, I've only seen the fight once. I think I said it after we came on the pod in the post fight. I just thought Kovalev after the second round knockdown didn't do anything other than just headhunt for the next round 3, round 4, round 5. After 6, I just thought his output slowed. He started to sort of gas a little bit. He did come back towards the last, I thought, in the last few rounds, but I just thought the story of the fight for me was it was Ward slowly edging his way back into the game, taking away Kovalev's jab. I thought he did a better work on the inside, on the outside, and just basically just slowly picked him off. It was a real close fight. If it went to Kovalev, I wouldn't be moaning. But I thought Ward nicked it 1-1-4, 1-1-3. But I mean, I've only seen the fight once, and I don't really remember a great deal about it now. I've not watched it back since, to be honest. But I mean, what did Kovalev do differently after the knockdown? All he went looking for was those headshots. He didn't, and all he was doing was following.
We've said that before you've got on here.
He didn't do anything. He didn't mix up his game at all, did he?
No, we've said that before you got on here, and that was one of the criticisms we all had of Kovalev, because he did just go headhunting.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, have you done your predictions for the rematch yet?
No, they both think Kovalev wins.
By what method?
I think he's going to fucking kill him in the ring.
Yeah, I think he's going to do it.
That's just silly.
A clean death.
He's going to see him twitching, and then you're going to fucking Ward going to see his daddy.
See, what I don't get is
For everything I've said,
go on. Sorry.
I think Ward wins. Not because I think he's going to do anything different to last time. I just see it being round 13 as opposed to round 1 of a new fight. I just think it'll carry on the way the last one did. Ward will just make it uglier much quicker.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean,
It's up to Kovalev to stop that. But
when people keep saying, "Oh, yeah, Kovalev's angry and he's going to do this, he's going to do that," I mean, I don't really think that works for him. I think that probably plays into Ward's hands if he's going to go in all guns blazing and all aggressive. This is going to sound a bit spasticated, but you know the Froch grows the first fight. If you watch the first 2 minutes of the first round before the knockdown changed everything. And I said to people, like for the rematch, like casual friends, look, if you want to know what the second fight's going to be like, watch the first 2 minutes of the first round of the first fight. That's exactly how the fight's going to go. So I just think that knockdown, that gave Kovalev the ascendancy for those, what was it, he's 3 rounds up after 2. And then it just made Ward kind of just reassess, take a step back and just slowly start to kind of just work behind his jab and just not take any risk. And I kind of think, as you just said, I don't see it as round 1. I kind of see it as round 13, as in the knockdown has happened and now we're just going from round 13, 14, 15, 16 onwards. I just don't see what Kovalev's going to do different. But having said that, if he establishes his jab, then, Ward could be in for a really, really long night. But he neutralised it, I thought, quite well during the second half of the first fight. You cunts.
I agree with you. Gun to my head, I'd pick Ward. I want Kovalev to win because Ward's a cunt. And if Ward loses, I love it. But it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it.
But why
I can't see Kovalev winning.
Ward's the man at 168. He thought everyone stepped up. Oh, he had 3 kind of gimmies. The Barrera fight, whatever it was, wasn't too bad. And then he's fought Kovalev, and then he fought him again. I don't really get what the hate. He's not as if he's holding a gun to anyone head. He's not. Oh, he might have played a bit silly buggers in negotiations, but he's stepping in the ring and he's taking on the big fight. So I don't get the hate.
No, it's not just who he's fought and who he hasn't fought. It's just his whole persona. He's just really unlikable. He's not got one redeeming feature, has he?
Oh, he's slick.
He thinks the world's against him.
Oh, I don't know.
And he's been handed everything on a plate.
I don't know about that. Oh, I think maybe in his early career. But so what is everyone's prediction? Is it by stoppage or points for Kovalev? Where's everyone going?
Well, Brian thinks he's going to kill him. Alex, what about you? How do you see the fight going?
Yeah, stoppage. I think Kovalev will chin.
Stoppage.
I mean, but this is the thing. Like both guys are going to be better in the rematch having fought each other. I don't think any guy's going to sort of jump in levels. So I still see the fight being really close, but I don't see what Kovalev can do different in the second fight than he did in the first fight, if that makes sense. Because any improvement he makes, Ward's going to make, and vice versa.
He could chin him. We know that Ward can get hurt by him. We've seen. I mean, he got hurt off the fucking jab.
I don't think he was hurt.
No.
I think he was caught off balance. He definitely knew he was hit. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't get up on like shaky legs. He wasn't fucked for a few rounds. He was hit and he felt it. But it wasn't like it was a fight changing punch.
You could argue that Kovalev felt some of those body shots.
You could counter me by saying that it wasn't fully extended and he just caught him on his forehead. Not anywhere meaningful.
I don't think that was the power of the shot.
I know.
I don't think it was the power of the shot that dropped him. I just thought it was a good shot. Was Ward was trying to counter, wasn't he? He just slipped the jab. I think he might have been.
He did. He timed one, and then Kovalev went straight back. And the second one caught him, and he was off balance, and that did what knocked him down. He was straight back up, and then he got back to the corner D, and Virgil was going, "Do not worry about the knockdown."
I thought Ward hurt him. Well, not hurt him, but I thought Kovalev felt some of those body shots in the last handful of rounds.
I agree that Kovalev is soft to the body, definitely, and I think that obviously if that should have been Ward's game in the first fight, always just go to that body, and I think he can do the same in this fight. But I don't know.
I didn't think Ward was bothered by the strength on the inside either. I thought he was seen to be fairly comfortable from what I remember when it did get messy.
Ward's always been the better fighter on the inside, I think. He's going to be the better inside fighter. I don't think he was as good as I thought he would be on the inside. I thought Kovalev handled himself quite well there, and he tried to push out of the clinch a lot. But again, Carp mentioned it earlier that mid-range, Kovalev destroys him. And he just needs to keep it at that middle range, and he makes it an easier night, obviously. But it's easier said than done, I suppose.
I just think it's far more likely that Ward would school Kovalev badly than it is the other way around.
Based on what?
Based on just Ward just being a hell of a lot better, and I do think Kovalev is more cruder. I don't think there's much doubt. I'm not saying he's a fucking Eastern European meathead at all. He's got a lovely jab and he's got good feet. But Ward has much as loved that. My favourite quote is either too close or too far away. But yeah, if I was going to pick one person to win an 8-4 decision, it certainly wouldn't be Kovalev, that's for sure.
Racist.
Aye.
I just missed that conversation because I was away doing a push, right? I caught the end of it, that if you were picking somebody to win 8-4, it was sure as well would be Kovalev. Why?
I've just said that. I just said why.
But I'm asking you why.
Or why?
Because I believe that Kovalev's the better boxer out of the two of them.
No, I don't think so at all. I think he's got a better jab, but I just think Ward's got better punch variation, and I think he's better on the inside. He's better on the outside. I think he's more.
He's not better on the outside. I'm not having that at all. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, if they're at mid range, then Kovalev will pound him with straight shots. You know that. Like, the Ward can't. He's not even as quick. Ward's not. He's not as quick. He's not as strong. He's not as rangy. If it was a fight when they had to be at mid range for the old fight, Kovalev batters him.
We're not talking about mid range. Oh, I was saying I think he's better from the outside. I don't doubt that Kovalev's better at mid range. But I do think Ward's a much better boxer, a much slicker boxer, much better body puncher. He hasn't got the better jab, but he's definitely got a better punch variation. I definitely think he's quicker as well. I definitely think he's quicker than Kovalev. I think he's probably a better combination puncher as well. But that's pretty close, to be fair. But I don't see Kovalev. I don't see Ward chasing Kovalev around that ring. I see it the other way around. I think if the fight had gone.
Ward doesn't chase anyone.
But if Ward dropped Kovalev in the second round, I think you see. I don't think you see Kovalev slowly get himself back into the fight the way Ward does. I think Kovalev will be far more aggressive, far more on the front foot, and he'll be chasing. I think Ward around the ring. But regardless, I mean, it's a great fight. I'm a Ward fanboy, but I've got no issue if Kovalev wins. I'm pleased that they're having a rematch, and I hope we get a really good fight and a close fight and a definitive winner. Probably maybe even see a trilogy.
Oh, I don't think you'll see a trilogy. The two camps hate each other, don't they? Like Rock Nation and a main event.
Because Andrew Ward, he's an absolute fucking faggot. Absolute fucking faggot, man. I mean, I've always been a fan of Ward. I think it was staying back to the fact that he schooled fucking Frotch, right? And we all hate Frotch. Frotch is a fucking knob. Right? But the guy is an absolute fucking bell end. The fight was last November and it's now June. And this is just all we do with fucking Ward. I might retire. Oh, why should I fucking do this? Why should I do that? The money needs to be right. What do you mean the money needs to be right? You signed the fucking contract. Everything that you signed was basically what you were going to get paid, where the fight wasn't going to be held, where the only places the fight could be held. Everyone was agreed in the contract, and once again he fucked about and dragged this on to the point that no cunt give. Even the hardcore fans don't give a fuck about this fight because of him. I hate him. Absolutely fucking hate him. See a guy that kind of preaches non-stop about being a man of God. I've never met a man that preaches so much about God but is just obsessed with money. See, if you're that much a Christian, money is the last thing in your fucking mind, but it's all he's obsessed about. I hope he goes bankrupt, he ends up in smack like his hell, man, and he dies. I can't. He is one of the... See, for the amount of talent this guy's got, he is one of the most horriblest fuckers in boxing. He's got a serious chip on his shoulder. He believes that he should be Floyd Mayweather. But I tell you one thing, Floyd's self-promoted. He deliberately went out and promoted himself. I know Ward turns around and says, oh, I'm not that type of person. Why should I go and trash talk and all that? That's no me. Well, shit happens. You're not going to get the same sort of profile as Floyd unless you fucking market yourself the way it is. You don't talk to any of the media, and I've not got a problem with that because I personally hate the media and I feel as if more people should ignore them, right? But you can't on one hand say that you don't get the coverage that you do, then on the other hand block every cunt. He's basically like the fucking Black Paul Smith. He just blocks every fucker on Twitter. this fight should have happened no later than fucking April, man. It should have been signed in maybe like December, agreed in December, so everybody could get fucking hyped for this. The promotion's been garbage. I know we shouldn't care about that. We shouldn't, because we're getting the fight anyway. The guy is so entitled, and I'm pretty sure that he's fucking used racism as a reason as well, or with his camp or something like that. I'm sick of hearing that. Like, we don't get this over here. Like I know there won't be any like Americans listening to this podcast, right? But we do not get fucking racism over here with boxing. Maybe can get that a bit because he's a Muslim, right? And I think that does stem a bit for that what can does get heavy. But we don't get that. See, when you see it in America, they're just constantly divide because of race. It's weird as fuck for us because we don't see it. You see, like with the Mexicans, man, they lose their fucking tits as well over it. But I just want. It's better for, you know how like the turn around says it's better for the sport if like Femi beat like Klitschko because he's a younger guy. It's better for the division for it to fucking move on. It's better for boxing for Kovalev to win because I can guarantee you if Ward fucking wins this fight, he will either not fight the rest of the year or who he does fight will be an absolute fucking bum on HBO. He'll fuck about, just drag his heels. Not. But I tell you, see if Kovalev wins, Kovalev will either want the rubber match or he will want Stevenson. Or he'll just turn around and say, give me Beterbiev. That's all he wants. He just wants the big fucking fights. But Ward, I'm surprised Ward even took this Kovalev fight in the first place. I'm pretty sure it was to do with HBO fucking telling him you're not going to get any fights unless you sign a contract to fight this. And that's where this kind of another chip in his shoulder stems from. I mean, they're making me fight him. Oh, my heart bleeds for you. You're a professional boxer, and they're making you fight the fucking top guys in your division. Oh, shoot me now, you big fucking dickhead. What else I'm raging about is the fact that he's got a contract with Jordan. I mean, I love Jordan. The clobbers fucking mint it. He's just a faggot. It's all right fucking seeing like Golovkin wear it because he's pretty cool, right? And he wants to fight every cunt. We won't get into that because we know that just sends people all ahead. But just everything about Ward annoys me. I should really appreciate the fact that it's the type of boxer I like. I like black slick fighters. I do. You know me. I like to be two-faced on this shit. I do. Like,
Brian. If Kovalev wins the first fight, a contentious decision, do you honestly think that he jumps straight back in the ring, no questions asked, and just goes, yeah, come on, let's have a rematch? Or do you think he's going to do what any fucking boxer does and chances their arm? He's going to chance his arm, try and get a few more quid.
Yeah, but if Kovalev got that, it wouldn't have been a contentious decision. Kovalev won that fight.
No, but that's not the question. If it was a contentious decision and he got the nod, do you honestly think he's not going to try and maximise his earnings? I know it's not cool to talk about money and all that, and we don't give a shit. We just want to see the fight. Yeah, it's taken a few months longer, but we've seen the fight. I mean, I don't understand what you're moaning about. He jumped up and he's fought the best. You guys are all saying Kovalev's pound for pound number one. Well, he jumped up in weight and he's beaten what a lot of people were saying was the pound for pound best fighter, and then he's got back in the ring with him again. And you cunts are still moaning about it.
Oh, you're sounding like Eddie Hearn. All of a sudden, now that your fucking boy beat somebody, he was a pound for pound king.
No, I never said he was pound for pound king. I said a lot of people were saying he was, and he jumped up in weight after cleaning out 168. He stepped up. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it has taken a bit long, and yeah, he is a bit of a mincer, and yeah, he's a bit of a diva. But at the end of the day, what do we always moan about? We want to see the best fight the best, and we've not seen it once. We're about to see it twice.
But he's a cunt.
That's fair enough. If you think he's a cunt, that's fine. But he's fighting him again, second time. A lot of people. A lot of people said he wouldn't fight him once. He's fighting him twice, man. Stop fucking mincing. I hope he fucking wins.
You got a point.
Del boy, Rigo is not slick. Rigo's been put in his ass fucking multiple times. It's a myth about Rigo. See, when I talk about slick boxers, I'm talking about Ward, talking about Hopkins, I'm talking about James Toney, I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather. They are slick boxers. Don't tell me that Ward is not a fucking slick fighter. He gets people to miss fighters punches all the time. He's great in the inside. Good at using his fucking shoulder, tucking into people's chest and all that. Don't tell me Ward doesn't. I hate the guy, but I'm not going to. Can't let you off for that. Ward is fucking slick. Other than that bolo punch, where he get fucking jabbed in the cutting. Right, but
that was funny. That
you won the on. Aye. you're framed off some of the things that you believe that Ward's better than Kovalev, but maybe
He pretty much said
Kovalev,
everything. He said on the inside, on the outside, but not as good
maybe
a jab.
Kovalev's not get as much punch variation as Ward, but that's by the by. It makes absolutely no difference if he doesn't fucking use it to win. I believe that Ward lost that fight. You believe different, right? But what Kovalev has got as a boxer, for me, was far better than what Ward had in that fight. And Kov outboxed him. If it was just basic stuff, he still outboxed him, in my opinion. I think he's a better boxer. I do believe he's going to stop him, and I hope he does stop him, because I don't want this going to the scorecards again, because I can see like kind of Kovalev getting jobbed.
Do you honestly think?
Again?
Do you honestly say that? So, flip the tables again, and Ward is 3 rounds to the good after 2. Like, if you gave Ward a 3-point head start going into the 3rd round, you think that Kovalev could close that gap and come back and win on points? Because by saying he's a better boxer, that's what you're effectively saying, that the roles will reverse, that Kovalev would come back from 3 points down after 2 rounds and win. I don't see that. But not without knockdowns and not without stopping him. I don't see that he can outbox Ward for 9-10 rounds being 3 points down. I don't see it.
But my point is that there's absolutely no way in this earth that Ward won 70 rounds.
That's fine. That's fine. I disagree. So did the 3 judges. 114, 113. Bitches.
Aye, but the judges all gave fucking Ward. But was it round 10 that every blind man would have seen that Kovalev won that fucking round?
I gave him round 10. I gave Kovalev round 10.
Exactly.
And I think I gave him round 11 as well. I think I gave him 10 and 11. I'm sure I did. I think 11 and round 3 was my 2 rounds, if I remember rightly, that I was a bit unsure where to give him.
I just believe that Kovalev's jab's that good, and we all know that I love a jab. His jab's that good. Like, he's got that. Like, I know Ward's got that fucking Floyd Mayweather jab about him where he can go straight to the chest and come back again and move out of range, right? But all Kovalev, in my opinion, has to do is like vary up the jab and just keep fucking Ward at the end of it. I don't think Ward is that clever that he's going to like kind of skip under that and like get in close. Like,
well, again, you're right. Maybe the knockdown fucked Kovalev as well, because after the knockdown, the jab kind of went out the window a little bit, and he was loading up on power shots and going for the head. Maybe that fucked him, but I don't know. I mean, he has got an excellent jab, Kovalev. He has got a really, really, really fucking good jab. But yeah, Ward's not too bad as well. I tell you what I like about Ward as well, how good he is at punching out of clinches. He's probably one of the fucking best at it. You don't see too many fighters, always going about fucking, I like it when fighters plant their feet and try and counter punch rather than you punch, I punch. But one thing I do also like about Ward, if you watch him, when he's in close, he always punches out the clinches and steps back. And I do think all round he's the more complete and the better fighter. But it's close. It's gonna be a great fight. Can't wait for it.
We've seen that when they were up close together. Like even when they were like kind of getting separated, they were trying to separate themselves out of the clinch. Ward was like constantly hitting them in the side, and that maybe kind of slowed Kovalev down. So it was
no, he's excellent at it. So many boxers don't do that. It's really, really simple, but just punch out the clinch, man. And he does it. He varies it as well. Hook to the body, hook to the head. I'm
going to give you a perfect example who was doing that. Brooke Spence. I says, like, see, after like fucking maybe round 4 and 5, I was saying Brooks just tying him up here. This is going to be a fucking boring fight. He's going to try and do a porter. What did Spence do? Didn't he just let him clinch him? He was punching him anywhere in the clinch to get fucking free. But no matter if it was the back of the head, the arm, the shoulder, the fucking side of the ribs or not, just hit anywhere. Don't just sit there and just fucking let people hold on to you until the referee breaks you. You try and break yourself because you're able to maybe hit him with a punch. And what if you do, if you got a bit of space, hit him with an uppercut?
I'd say not.
I know I say that because we're all fucking mad messes on the internet, but...
Well, I've just come out of the boxing gym and we was doing a little bit of, I'm absolutely terrible. We were just doing a bit of inside work. One of the things we was doing was just punch anything. And I tell you what, it does fucking hurt. It doesn't matter if you catch him on the elbows, you catch him on the shoulders, you catch him on the forearms. You do feel that. You do feel like we was doing like 2 minutes of you can't punch. They're just going to punch you only on the arms. and you're just tucking up on the inside and just trying to block shots and parry shots. And I tell you, it does fucking hurt. And I don't know why. Yeah, and I can imagine when someone's punching you full pelt, not 75% over 12 rounds, that's going to fucking take a lot out of you. And more fighters should do it. And you're right, Spence did it really well, and Ward is, I think, one of the best at it.
People that are going to pick their fighters are obviously going to choose parts of what happened in the last fight and go with that. But when Ward, it's possible that Ward be getting knocked down with a punch that was fucking half-arsed. Like, he didn't even kind of get the full extension of it. What, for all we know, Ward could get into this fight a bit more wary that he doesn't want to try and trade or exchange punches. He's just going to kind of go in like the kind of Lara mode where he's just going to try and move away. And we could easily get a bit of a stinker. I thought that fight was great. It might have not been great for maybe some casuals that didn't like it because it wasn't like a fucking tearing. But fuck casuals, man! I couldn't give a fuck if a casual never ever watched a fight again. That's one of the most enjoyable fights of last year. I thought it was fucking fantastic.
I'm not sure Ward will be that cautious because that punch. I mean, I still don't think it was the power that knocked him down. It was just, to be fair, it was good boxing all round. Ward tried to slip the punch, he slipped it. He tried to counter with his own shot, but Kovalev's caught him. Neither guy was at fault, but probably Ward was a little bit square on. But after 2 or 3 rounds after the knockdown, I don't think Ward fought scared for those rounds for the remaining 8, 9, 10 rounds or whatever it was. I think he will be a bit cautious early on because he's not going to want to give away that many points early, but I don't think we'll see a right stinker. I still think it will be a chess match and still one of those fights where you're kind of on the edge of your seat because you're thinking like anything could happen at any time. And I'm sure whoever wins it will have to come through some sticky moments. I'm sure Ward will be hurt in that fight. I'm sure Kovalev will, but I don't see a massive stinker. I don't think Kovalev will let it turn into a stinker. If Ward is going to be running and try and be negative, Kovalev will hunt him down. His footwork's good enough that he'll be able to pin him down and make it into a fight, I think.
I think as well I don't believe that he tired the gassed in there. I just think he kind of headhunted and it just all went to fucking shit for a
he said he did. He said he gassed. He said after 6 rounds.
I don't believe that. I just think he's looking for a fucking excuse there. But I think he's going to throw more punches. That's the thing with Ward though. I think if you kind of throw, he's not going to throw at Joe Calzaghe. I think Joe Calzaghe would have been a fucking nightmare for Ward, just the fact that he was just so active. I dare say that Ward would have been a nightmare for Calzaghe or not. But
Ward's a nightmare for anyone, really, isn't he? I said before, if you could for me, if I could pick a boxer to beat Floyd, I would take Ward and just shrink him down to 147. That's the only guy I'd give a really good chance of beating like a prime-ish Floyd.
Oh, that's a fucking hipster fight if there ever is one. Well, I'm picking Kovalev knockout. I don't know if it'll be early, but I can actually see that because I know he's got a strength and conditioning coach in, but I don't hold much credence to that because you can't just get a strength and conditioning coach in for one fight and see think you're going to see any sort of differences. You need to have one of them over especially a year, 2 years and all that to fucking build yourself up. So I don't hold much of that. But see if I was getting more in the gas tank and he just throws more punches, I could basically see him breaking Ward down and Ward fucking crumbling. I would love to see Ward quit, do a fucking brook and just get down in the knee, look over at the corner and fucking shake his seat and says, "That's me, I'm finished." That would be great. So it would be. That'd be a victory for fucking Donald Trump. That's what it would be. But it's a good fight. It's a really good fight. Are you considering doing a live pod for that?
Well, I'm definitely staying up for it, so I'd be up for it.
I'm staying up, but Rigo might send me to sleep again, so who knows?
Right, so what's Macho's pick?
I'm picking Ward by decision.
Wide, or do you think it'll be close again?
I think it'll be close, but it will be by 3 or 4 rounds. I think. I just think that. I do think Ward won the first fight. I think he figured Kovalev out, and I don't think Kovalev's got enough variation to. I just think even if Ward's behind, he's got the game to be able to close the gap and bring it back. But I think if Ward stretches ahead after 3 or 4 rounds and wins the first 3 or 4, I just see Kovalev getting reckless and making mistakes and getting frustrated and still having his moments, but allowing Ward just to stretch away again. So no, I do think it'll be a really good fight, a close fight. I do think both guys will raise their game. It will be a chess match at times. There probably will be like times in the fight where there's not a lot going on, but I do fancy another tight one, but Ward by one of those 115, 113, 116, 112 type jobbies.
I think if Ward loses, he retires.
What's his deal?
If he wins, he retires as well.
What's his deal with Rock Nation? Do we know or do we not know? Is he under contract to fight more or?
Not a clue.
I wouldn't think so, because he's already had like he said the 2 Kovalev fights. He said the Paul Smith fight,
Brandon Barrera.
So that's 4 fights, unless he's got like a 5 fight deal. But
people overlook that, Sullivan. I know Barrera's not really done anything, but he's still a good fighter, and Ward literally just schooled him. So that's kind of an overlooked win, in my opinion. That
I said that earlier. That Smith was shit, and the other guy he thought was pony. But I thought that Barrera wasn't a bad step up. But I'd be very surprised if Ward really he retires, because again, I know it's not cool to talk about money, but you could even argue he's not maximised his earning potential yet, and he has got a legit 0. And if he beats Kovalev like straight up for a second time, I mean, you're talking about of our generation. You are talking about one of the premier fighters. And there'll be big fights and more money out there for him. So I'd be surprised if he retired after.
Yeah, but they're big fights, and they're big fights, but they're not like money fights, are they?
No, they're not money fights, but they're still big fights, and they still earn a few quid. I don't see fighters. I don't think Ward's made hundreds of millions.
For example, do you go from a Kovalev fight where you're earning a fair old whack to fighting Baturbiev where you're earning half of that in a fight just as risky?
No, I think he chases down Stevenson. I think whether the 2 camps can do a deal or not is another matter. But Stevenson, I mean, he's going to have to come to the party eventually, because I'm not sure what sort of money he's made, and he's knocking on. I mean, he's probably not got that many fights left. Was it, how old is he? 39, something like that? 38,
He's 40 now, I think.
Is he 40? So, I mean, he's going to want to earn a few quid for his retirement, and when he goes around fucking raping and fucking people trafficking and all that stuff. So, I think he'll come to the dance if Ward wins, and that is a big fight. That's a legit fight for the lineal title, the man of the division. Like,
but that'd be everything as well. That'd be all the marbles.
That will be all the marbles. So no, I don't see. If he loses, then potentially, because you'd think that Kovalev chases a Stevenson's fight. But no, I don't think Ward retires if he wins.
I did say that.
Stupid too.
See if there was no rematch clause in this, in Ward 1. I believe that his next fight would have been Cleverly. He would have done that. Obviously, Kova is not going to take the Cleverly fight because he fucking wasted him. But I do believe that that's the sort of fight that Ward have been like, I've not a problem with fucking going there. I think he would even came to England for that fight.
Yeah, he probably would.
Stuck that one.
Good fight, that. I wouldn't mind saying that.
Never die. I don't. I think Ward was absolute school.
It would be a fun fight, though. I think be a fun fight.
It was fucking good till it sees. I think Ward would travel for that, because I think he would be super confident of winning it. But Pimp Daddy rapes both these guys like he used to rape hookers. Fucking Stevenson hasn't beaten him. They fucking decent. But right, so that's what Kovalev done it. Right, you want to just kind of shut on fucking Fat Smith for a couple of minutes?
Go on, do a rant on him.
Right, basically, I've kind of tweeted like Mendoza for like 4 weeks solid, and the only time I get a reply out, it was because I called my fucking slag, and the reply was, "Why would I reply to you?" And then I see like some guy for like Talksport like writing an open letter to the WBA with regards to this, and absolute fucking joke. I know the guy that with the letter saying he's no blaming Paul Smith because who wouldn't take this opportunity, but my point to him was. But it's more Paul Smith's fucking fault because he's refused fights. He's turned fights down because they're not world title fights. He's turned down like, I'm not fighting Martin Murray unless it's a world title fight. He's deliberately went out his way not to fight people just because he feels that entitled. The rest isn't a world title fight, but it doesn't matter if he to win that he would
turn down Chavez.
I turned down Chavez as well. He would basically parade himself as a world champion. He would get the media and all that calling him a world champion. He would earn money like a world champion. He would maybe even get the because the Gale's out injured. And now imagine Paul Smith won. Would you think the fucking first fight would get made? George Groves on pay-per-view. Absolute fucking joke. I don't care, like, oh, he needs to make money for his family. I couldn't give a fuck if he ends up homeless. I have absolutely no personal like relationship with boxers. So see when people hear me on the podcast talking pure, oh, that's fucking terrible what you're saying. I've no relationship with these people, so I couldn't give a fuck either way what happens to them. If they go broke and end up in the streets, I couldn't give a fuck. They don't care about me either. They wouldn't care if I was out in the street. So I don't get this. Oh, that's fucking terrible. Why are you saying that? Fuck off. So I don't get this. Like, oh, you're against British fighters and all that. They're just trying to earn a living. You know what? Go and get a fucking 9-to-5 job Monday to Friday like all the rest is then to make an earn. I don't get this entitlement that boxers should be entitled to these fucking world title fights and earn all this money because it's what they do. Oh, it's all they know and all that. They need to make money to retire so they don't need to work again. Why? In what other fucking walk of life does every fucker need to make that amount of money that they don't need to work again? Imagine if they had that attitude. Every country was retiring at 35. We'd be like fucking Greece about 5 years ago. The economy absolutely fucking crashing. Every cunt on their pension be 35. Get to fuck. He's absolutely fucking straight, I know. He's no
You just sat in the sorting office waiting for one big delivery before you retire. You just stopped doing anything for like six months. Just go right, just waiting for one big delivery. Then it comes in, that's it. You take it and then fuck off.
Tell my boss that I'm not going to deliver mail until there's a general election, so I can deliver all the leaflets. So he's not fought. The last time he fought at 168 was against Arthur Abraham, wasn't it?
He hasn't won at 168 for about 5 years, I don't think. I think I went through his record. He's only ever won 5 scheduled 12-round fights. I think he's had like 44 fights. He's only ever won 5 fights that were scheduled to go 12 rounds. I mean, I'm going to be like absolutely honest. I actually don't even mind watching Paul Smith fight. I'm actually slightly disappointed that he just won't fight because there are some good fights. I mean, the Martin Murray fight, I must have been tweeting Hearn for about 18 months and make that fight. You know, it is a good fight. I mean, it's not a world level fight, but that is an interesting fight. A loser leaves town fight. There's something actually legit on the line there. I don't actually think I don't mind watching him, but his reluctance to fight. And as you say, his sense of self-entitlement is just incredible that he just refuses to fight any cunt unless it's for a world title. I mean, this isn't a world title, but yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know whether the Smiths are like major fucking gangsters and everyone's shit scared of them, but you know, everyone in Sky just toes the line. No one questions him. No one pushes him. He can say what he wants. He doesn't get questioned. I don't really understand it. I don't see why Hearn seems so desperate to make this fight. And also, if you look at, I mean, Matchroom I think today I've started tweeting about it. Sky, everyone's just been on like fucking. It's like Robert Mugabe media lockdown. No one's been talking about this fight. And they've just hushed it under the carpet. And you're just like, well, why does Paul Smith, of all the fighters, why does he deserve that kind of treatment? Why does he deserve a third world title shot? Well, I just don't get it. But I mean, I've only seen this Ziga guy once. I don't even really remember it because I think I was bored to tears, but I don't know how good he is. And I don't know, has anyone seen him? Can anyone give anything technical?
He's not very good, but he's not a complete bum. He's got enough to beat Paul Smith, but he's nothing. He's no world beater.
I mean, do we see this going a distance?
Probably.
So he should get robbed then, shouldn't he?
But what would you rather have? Would you rather have Smith getting fucking absolutely erased, not clean out, so we can just troll fucking old man Scouse and all that for the rest of the time? Or do you wish that, or is it one of the ones where like he wins maybe about a fucking 9-3, 10-2 and all that, and the scorecards come back and they get absolutely fucking jobbed on the scorecards just so it's an absolute fucking meltdown, like hashtag and the true again, mind that? And the true. You're a cringy bastard, just Scouse cunts.
I don't want him to get robbed, only because if he gets, I don't want to see anyone get fucking carried out of the ring on a stretcher. But if he legit wins that fight and gets robbed, then he's going to get a rematch. We're going to have to go through it all again. Another Paul Smith world title fight, and I can't be dealing with that. So it's probably better if he gets absolutely sparked and it's definitive and he goes away. But he said he's not. He said he wasn't going to retire. But then I read an article today that says this definitely is his last chance, and if he don't win, then maybe he does. But I mean, I said to you a couple of weeks ago that Hearn is, if things go his way, he can have a right monopoly at 168 Smith does pick up the regular. I know he's not got Groves, but he works closely with Sowlands. He's got De Gaulle. If Callum Smith beats Durrell, you're looking at a proper round robin of pay-per-view fights between those four Brits. If things
You've got Eubank Jr. there as well.
Yeah, Eubank Jr. as well. You're going to see a lot of pay-per-view fights. So Hearn, because I think, remember before when he had like Crawler and Mitchell and all that lot, Campbell, he was trying to get a monopoly on that division. Didn't quite work out for him. And I think now he's gunning for 168. That's his kind of pay-per-view money division, I think.
But the problem with that was, like you say, he done that with like Kevin Mitchell and that, but he fucking marinated fights that long that every cunt started getting beaten, didn't get any of the fights made. The amount of people he had like Burns, Crawler, Mitchell, he had somebody else in on, he could have just fucked them all in the girl, but what he was wanting was he was trying to get every one of them a fucking world title. This is what bothers me. Not every cunt's a world champion. Oh,
yeah, I don't want to defend Hearn, but in that division, with those kind of fighters, he needed those world titles because you could tell. I mean, he desperately wanted the Mitchell and the Crawler fight. He wanted the North v South. He wanted the United v West Ham. That was 100% pay-per-view. He did need the world title for that to happen. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I wanted to see the fight anyway, but I can understand why he was desperate to get Mitchell the title. But he probably doesn't even need world titles on everyone to make pay-per-view fights. So I think Smith, De Gaulle, Grove, he just needs one. He doesn't need two. I just think any of those three will stick on pay-per-view.
But it's mad because the Mitchell that fought Linares with a beat fucking Crawler. That is the fucking mad thing. He should have just made the fights.
Yeah, but he couldn't. But he wasn't going to be a pay-per-view fight, was he? He needed the world title to make it a pay-per-view fight, which is why he went that way.
Oh, man, you need fucking Eddie Hearn to just get shot in the face, don't you? Because these pay-per-views are going to end up making us never get any fucking fights. Never get any, because what you're going to eventually get, you're going to get every one of the boxers turning around and saying, why should I take a chance? Why should I take a risky fight when the opportunity to be at one point being a pay-per-view fighter could be fucking wasted? I mean,
well, that's what we've got. Hearns, mate, it's a false economy now, this pay-per-view economy that he's created. And you're exactly right. No one's going to take a risk because they know. And even if they can just get a decent fight on the undercard of a pay-per-view, they'll earn a few quid. So everyone's just kind of jockeying for position, waiting. Because I think Hearn was saying it's potentially another 6 pay-per-views by the end of the year, like all in, across all networks. So everyone's just scuttling around trying to get a piece of that pie.
I mean, who do you think he's going to have out in September to try to piggyback off this Golovkin fight?
Well, I think the plan was probably De Gaulle Groves.
Well, that's not happening.
No, not anymore. So, I mean, when does Callum Smith fight? Is that September?
September.
So he's out of the question.
September the 9th, maybe.
Brooks out of the question.
But that's in America as well.
And you've got, maybe he won't. I think he talked about before, he'd done that 27-hour interview with Coogan. He talks about that being standalone as a pay-per-view because if they don't do it, someone else will.
I think that will bomb. I really do think it would bomb.
Well, what's it going to cost them to put it on pay-per-view anyway? I don't see them losing money on it. Yeah, it would bomb, but
at the same time, you're going to have like Golovkin and fucking Canelo Golden Boy in that tournament, saying you're putting that on pay-per-view. I will be wanting that.
He doesn't need a big world title fight. He could put Chisora and Dylan White and he could just do a decent, what we would call a good, solid, regular Sky card. He could do a Chisora v fucking Dylan White and put a couple of fucking Olympians on an undercard and package it up with Golovkin and Canelo and go, there you go, that's a pay-per-view.
It's a sorry state. Like, Paul Smith just needs to fuck off. Look, I believe like 99% of boxing fans want this guy to lose. Just lose and fuck off. But he's not even been on Sky as much anymore or anything. You know how like I don't care about what the trolls say. He's on another fucking casual podcast. I fight disciples. I don't listen to him, but they're all fucking benders. And he's on talking about like undeserved title shots, like trolls and blocking people and all that. The cunt's fucking obsessed. You know how like he's always going on about like he doesn't care. Well, you care enough to talk about it non-stop that you fucking don't care.
Just talking about title fights. Did anyone see that Hearn interview when Coogan asked him about this fight, and he started saying that, well, your Fire's opponent, like, did he deserve it? Probably not. He was fairly shit. And did Ziga deserve his shot in the first place? He just started, and then he started saying that he told Mendoza not to put Paul Smith at 5. He should have put him at 15. I was just like thinking, fuck me, like who's running this fucking show now?
And basically, he's not. He doesn't deserve the world title shot off the back of 3 6-rounders. But RTL, is that the German company? RTL.
I think so. Yeah.
They know Paul Smith because he's fighting Abraham, and they like Paul Smith, so that's how he's getting the title shot. Like, that doesn't fucking make sense. That was 3 years ago. So how the fuck is WBA ranking him then?
You could see that his brain, when he was talking, his brain was going, "Fuck, I'm saying too much." Because he did say that. Does he deserve a title shot after fighting him 3 6-rounders? No. Does he deserve to be ranked 5? No. I told Gilberto Mendoza not to rank him at 5, to rank him at 15. And it's the TV networks that wanted to fight, so that's why he's been ranked. And I'm just like, mate, that's incredible. Like, what you're actually saying now is just absolutely fucking mental. You telling someone, or the TV networks telling a governing body where to rank someone, just fucking mental.
You know what I believe? See that interview? He ended up getting that fucking raging over me and Tommy non-stop fucking tweeting Mendoza. He just lost it a wee bit, and he just was coming out with everything. Like, Hearn likes to play the cool cunt, not, but see times like, see when he starts like talking about like guys on the internet, like do the podcast or on Twitter, he does lose his shit a bit. Because you remember, like, he called his hardcore Hermans before. He was fucking raging that day. He was absolutely bealing. He was trying to hold it together. And Coogan, honestly, just sometimes I'm just, fuck knows, Coogan, absolutely fucking bealing. And that's what it is. Just sometimes you can get under his skin, and Coogan maybe gets him at the right point where he's at the breaking point. And I'll probably see the big fucking slimy bastard at the O'Hara Davis fight, and I'll not say a fucking word to him. I know before he went up to like Mark McFarlane and put his hand out to shake Mark's hand, and Mark fucking went to shake his hand, he pulled it away and went, nah. So I'll be wise to that, and I'll just put my fucking hands behind my back and just not shake it. I'm like, no. But he is a big good looking bastard. He'll probably hypnotise me and he fucking wank them off. But
yeah. I kind of said before, to changing the subject, but I do kind of like to hate Hearn, if that makes sense. I do think, like, fair play to him, because he could have blocked every single one of us cunts. I know he's blocked some idiots, and I know he's muted some people, but you know, he's fair game. He gives it, and he takes a lot of shit, and he does come out front and centre. And it would be pretty boring if he just decided just to fuck off. So, you know, I kind of enjoy the sort of battle like us with them, and he definitely hates pods like this and pods like the Asylum and the Coalition, and he doesn't like it because he can't control it. And you know, we're kind of freedom fighters, putting the correct information out there. And there's definitely people that are wising up. You know, when you look at those Matchroom tweets, when they tweet out stuff, I always go and have a little scroll through. And don't get me wrong, for every cunt that's going, "Oh, bring it home, Paul Smith, you deserve this, do it for your family," there's just as many people saying this is a fucking shambles. So we are making fucking progress.
He's getting booed every fucking time he's holding that he's promoting a fight now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but he said it that, you know, his dad said to him, "You cracked it," and it's the wrestling thing. He's a heel, and people tune in to listen to his videos, and people want to listen to him, and they want to boo him, they want to interact with him. People go just to probably see him and boo him. It's part of the pantomime.
I don't think Hearn's like that. Well, I know Barry Hearn's fucking really good at his politics and all that, but I don't think Hearn's ego likes that. I think Hearn fucking likes to be loved.
No, you're right. He doesn't like it, but he understands. He understands promotion, and he understands at the end of the day, it's all about that fucking dollar bill. And I've said this before, I don't want to fucking repeat myself, but Barry Hearn has said years ago that he gives, you know, the rise of darts, he thanks the wrestling. He got all those ideas for the ring walks and the personalities and the nicknames and the crowd interaction. He gets all that from wrestling. And, you know, even you look at the next gen, I was saying in the chat, he's got his own development territory, and Hearn is the Bobby Heenan. He's the manager. You know, everyone likes to boo him. It's all part of the pantomime, and he's not stupid. He'll keep doing it. He'll keep doing it.
You said this before. He's no longer promoting fighters. He's promoting personalities.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you look at the say the what's his name, the Ryan Burnett fight. If you look at what came out of that, it was the story of him and Adam Booth. How much was they pushing that story? Look at the Perez fight straight away. He's got a great story. He's got a great story. We'll sell that story. We'll talk about that story. That's what he's all about. He's about promoting personalities and getting people engaged. And I've kind of maybe given him a bit of credit, because those Olympians, I know so much about those Olympians I should never fucking know, because he's got over their personalities. And you know, you can turn on Eurosport and watch a good fight between a couple of fucking Latvians, but not have a fucking clue who they are. But Hearn's quite clever in getting their personalities over and making people feel fucking engaged and making people care.
I'm never going to say that Hearn's not a genius. I've never really got a bad word about like Barry Hearn, other than I find him a bit creepy at times. But Barry's a self-made millionaire, and he's a sporting genius in what he's done with like the likes of darts, boxing, snooker, fucking even fishing and all that.
Yeah.
Everything he touches turns to gold. He come up to Scotland to give like a talk. To like people in football, and he told them what he believed they were doing wrong with promoting the fucking league and things like that. And everything he said was 100% spot on. And I was sitting thinking, I was like, I wouldn't mind if Barry Hearn just came up here for maybe I Leighton Orient, understand that modern broadcast. He's a scumbastard about that. Like just come up for a year to fucking maybe give like the advice not to try and sort it out, do a bit better, because he's a salesman to help with Scotland.
Excellent. If you look at snooker, I don't know if you've seen that whatever that snooker documentary I sent you guys, but that's the first thing he done when he took over snooker. It wasn't about the actual what went on the tables. It was about let's sell all these personalities. Let's get these personalities over. And yeah, we've got the whirlwind, and we've got fucking Steve Davis and all this shit. He did that. He done exactly the same with darts. Let's get their personalities over. Let's sell these nicknames. And he's done the same with boxing. And now so many people that even in my office say, I want to go to a matchroom show because I want to go to an event. They call it an event. They don't see it. They don't. It's a day out, just like the darts. No cunt watches the darts. They just go out and get smashed and have a good time. He's excellent at what he does. Can't knock him.
Like, we just need like kind of Paul Smith to fucking lose. That's all we need. Paul Smith to lose at the weekend, and then for him to turn around and say that's my last fight and start crying in the ring. We've got a couple of screenshots so we can always send it to people, because there'd be nothing better than seeing Paul Smith just break down emotionally, because we want that.
Did you say Stephen Smith fighting?
He's on the card as well.
What is it with these Smith brothers getting these fucking mouldy fights then? Is this some sort of fight to getting ranked for another world title shot or something? A bit like what happened to what's his name, Liam.
I've not got a problem with Stephen Smith, because he's at least tested himself. I know he avoided Miura. Like, he was Miura is like fucking mandatory for years, and he was supposed to go to Japan and fight him, but I ended up balling a bit. At least Stephen Smith's been semi-competitive with world level fucking fighters. Like, he's got a better resume than the full brawls put together.
Yeah, just quickly actually.
And I know people.
Go on.
No, on you go.
I was just going to say, just change the subject, but still on the Smiths. Have you spoken about the Eubank Abraham fight?
We spoke about it earlier on. How do you want to say?
No, I was just going to say, where would you put if Callum Smith fought Abraham like now? Would that be his best opponent? Like, as in the Abraham that he is today, not the name Abraham. I know he's a bit shot, but
You'd maybe say like fucking Abraham is maybe on the level of Rabras, wouldn't you?
I think he's probably a little bit better than Rabras. Rabras is fairly gash. But I don't mind that Eubank fight, to be fair. I don't mind that Eubank Abraham fight. It's a shit pay-per-view fight. It's a shit world title, but he's still a novice. I don't mind that. But yeah, these Smith brothers are just weird.
I don't mind the Abraham fight. I think it's still alright fight, and I think they're going to have like a couple of decent fights on the undercard. I won't be paying for it. I'll be watching it on Facebook Live. Somebody will have it on Facebook Live. That
was funny as well when Hearn was admitted to streaming it. If I could slag everyone for streaming fights, and he went that he streamed it. That was fucking gold.
Well, there's a tweet going about it. Like, he'll obviously have deleted it, but somebody screenshot it. It was for a couple of years ago. Hearn asking for a fucking link to the wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah, because he's so weird. He doesn't even admit he never admitted he got Box Nation, and I've tweeted him loads of times, and people have as well. Have you got BT Sport? And he won't say he's got, because he must have BT. And I can't remember, there was a BT card, and Coogan asked him, and he sort of went, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I kind of caught up a bit later." He won't even admit he's got BT. But at least that's what I like about Warren. Warren goes, "Yeah, of course I buy the pay-per-views. I'm a promoter. I'm into boxing. I watch all the fights. I buy the pay-per-views. Of course I do."
I can't remember what fight it was on Box Nation, or maybe it was on Box Nation and BT. And like Hearn says, I watched the fight, so he caught himself out by turning around saying, "I fucking seen it." So he definitely, of course, like he's not fucking. He must be a sports fan at some point. He must say BT fucking Sports.
Yeah, he's even said before that, someone sent me a disc. I've heard him say that before. I was just like, what are you lying for? Just say you got Box Nation, you got BT, you fucking watch a fight. It doesn't matter.
You're a multi-millionaire, sure. I don't want to support fucking Frank Warren, but come on, fuck, man. Surely you had Box Nation just for the fact of just having it there. even if you didn't
Right.
watch it. Ever.
He must have made a fucking fortune because he actually, I know he might have been lying, but he said all the pay-per-view numbers, and there was an article flying around that someone had done all the pay-per-view numbers for the last couple of years, and if you tally those up with the average price of 15, 16 quid, it is a fucking hell of a lot of money. But I think what's happening now, again, changing the subject slightly, like we see Frank Smith at the O'Hara Davis press conference, and we've seen Frank Smith do another couple of interviews with Coogan. I think what we're going to see is Hearn kind of moving away from the regular card slowly and just focus all his time and attention on the pay-per-views, and we'll probably end up seeing more of Frank Smith at these shows. I think that's what's going to end up happening
But Frank
over the next couple of years. Yeah, I think that's what we'll see. You'll see more because there's the reason that he's doing interviews with Coogan now, because he's not very comfortable in front of the camera, and this is all about, again, it's the old wrestling thing. You've got to get someone over, so you can't just sort of whack him out and go, oh, he's in charge. It will be like a slow stealth thing. I'll guarantee we'll see more and more of Frank Smith on these regular cards, like in front of the camera, and Hearn just slowly moving away.
I just believe Hearn, because he's for Essex and his wife is linked with like Chloe Sims, and the Sims are like two away. I just believe everyone is fucking reality TV. Hearn, he's always wanting. Like, you've seen that with the Matchroom Security, them getting interviews and all that, like Frank Smith on it. You've just got these obscure fuckers getting interviewed, and you're like, what the fuck? No cunt gives a fuck. And he just, like you said, he just wants every cunt to have a fucking storyline. And like, I don't give a fuck about Matchroom Security.
But this is the thing. We know about Matchroom Security. You know some of the guys. They get interviewed. You know who they are. It's just, again, it's all part of, he's excellent. It's part of building the brand, and the brand is not just about the fighters. It's about him. It's about the people that work behind the scenes. It's about Coogan. It's about the security. I mean, look at Sweet Carolina. They played at Arsenal now. They play Sweet Carolina Arsenal. They played it at the FA Cup. I think someone said they played it at cricket. Like Hearnisms is just fucking travelling everywhere. He might be a massive cunt, but fuck me, is he good at what he does?
Right, it's fucking great. Right, I'm going to move on for this fucking lot, loving, and like finish
it's
off.
Just fucking me and you.
I know Cap says I think he's got fucking hay fever. I'm just trying to get this post up. Where is it?
I'm not sitting here talking to politics with you.
No, the Tories. No, we did that enough time. I think we will actually do a political podcast one time. So if anybody wants to listen to us shit on the Tories, I don't know if this is on like if this is like an announcement put out, like boxing event Saturday, August the 26th, MGM Grand Arena. Description: Mayweather's Promotions will promote a professional boxing event at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The event will be televised on Showtime. Now, I know it's Mayweather Promotions will promote it, and it's the MGM Grand, but Mayweather's not getting any. In fact, no, that's July. Broner and Garcia. So
you're talking about the McGregor fight?
There is nothing else that we can maybe fucking know. Like, there isn't anything else that I could think of, like maybe fucking Floyd like promoting. Because
could it be what's his name? Could it be Jack and Gervonta Davis on a card?
Well, I would hope so, that he gets Gervonta Davis back out really quick so he can fight 4 times in the 1 year. Badu, Jack, Nathan cleverly, but come on, are they guys that you want to put in MGM Grand?
Was it 13,000? Could Davis and Jack in 2 world title fights?
17,500.
How much?
17,500.
What, the Grand? Are you sure it's that much? Am I thinking of the
17,500? Aye.
Okay. Yeah, I think they might struggle to do that many numbers there, but. Well, wasn't you saying? I thought. I mean, McGregor's been tweeting that there's some big news coming, so it's probably that. And it makes sense that they do it before the Canelo Triple G fight. If it is August, when's that? September the 20 something or other, 18th, 19th. The Canelo Triple G fight. It's the end of September, isn't it?
What?
Canelo
September
Triple G. Okay, so yeah, so it makes sense if they're going to do McGregor Mayweather. It makes sense that they do it before the month before that fight. And just fucking rinse all their pay-per-view buys. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that's that done.
If it is fucking Mayweather McGregor, I think it's a really fucking shitty move. And like, I know Floyd is that type of shitty fucker, but I know he's got a serious gripe with De La Hoya. But De La Hoya promoted so many of his fucking fights, and like De La Hoya basically made him the size of the fighter he is. We gave him that fight back in like 2007. I think he's just done. He's just hell bent on like fucking trying to ruin Oscar or not. I do believe if that fight is in Oscar, like August 26th, it's going to take. It's going to take money away. I couldn't give a fuck if, as I said, but it is going to take like money away for like the Canelo card. But selfishly, I'm hoping that gets announced and people that were considering going to Golovkin, Canelo turn around and say, "Ah, fuck that! I would rather go to fucking Mayweather, McGregor. It's a bit of a freak show. I'd rather be in Vegas for that week, and I've got a better opportunity, maybe getting tickets for fucking the Golovkin fight."
You can't blame. If they are. I mean, because as soon as they announced Canelo Triple G, what's his name? The big bald cunt that does UFC. What's his name? Dana White. He came out and said they've stolen our date. They've taken our date. So it is a shitty move, but they're not going to do it a month after, are they? They're not going to do it a week before or a week after. It makes sense that they do it a month before. I'd imagine Oscar's fucking bang on the ching there, absolutely shitting himself in case that fight gets made. Because you're right, they're going to take a lot of money out of their pocket. A lot of money out of their pocket, especially if they do it in Vegas as well, the MGM, as you said.
Well, that's his arena. I like the MGM. I've heard bad things like about the T-Mobile. I'm not too happy. I just want a ticket for the fucking Golovkin fight, don't I? But I would have really rather the MGM because like every seat run about there's fucking good. You can get to see everything, even if like you're a bit further away. There's like screens fucking run about where you can watch it. So it's a right good arena. But
just briefly, Brian, before we go, just because I've got to shoot in 5 minutes. What do you think about? Because I'm bang up for. I know what I'm getting with Mayweather and McGregor. I know it's a fucking freak show, but I trust Floyd that he said he would put Jack on the card. He would put Davis on the card. I'm actually up for it. I don't say I don't mind it, but I will watch it. There's no way I'm not going to watch it. I will get caught up in the promotion and the hype. The spastic casuals will wind me up, but I'm up for it. What's your thoughts of it?
I won't watch the fight. I'll watch the undercard because there'll be decent fights on the undercard. But I'll watch. What I hope is I get sucked into boxing for like the likes of like Prince Nazim because he was just a bit of shit talker. He would back up. I loved Floyd when he was Pretty Boy because he would just absolutely abuse everything. See, you know how like when Floyd talks now, he talks dead slow and tries to like think every word that he's speaking and he's boring as fuck. See back then with Pretty Boy Floyd when he was over Manchester with Hatton, I see him it's just right off the cuff. He was really quick, really witty. Into that mode because we all know is fucking like McGregor can talk like
I will
fuck.
do. Again, that's the wrestling thing again because Floyd's he's a wrestling fan. He's been in WWE before. He marketed his zero. He set up a chase. I mean that's what makes the money in wrestling is a chase. They're the best storylines. Somebody chasing someone, and he put his zero up there, and he said to everyone, "We'll come and chase it." So I'm with you. He'll definitely, I think, go back to Pretty Boy Floyd. I don't think he'll do all that. He'll still do the hard work, dedication stuff. But I think he will go. He will go for him. I think. I hope so. Anyway, or maybe not. Maybe let McGregor play the heel. Who knows? But I wouldn't have thought so.
It's going to be like 120, 106 or something like that because you can see Floyd putting him on his arse. We just hit him so many times. It's an absolute fucking stupid fight. It's a bit of a joke, but as I say, I like the two of them, and I know how much fucking rage it will cause on Twitter and Facebook and all that when this gets made, and I just. Oh, I can't wait because people are just like boxing fans can be really, really fucking snobby when it comes to MMA. They turn their nose up at it as if like, oh, we're too good for MMA. I watch UFC. UFC's fucking really good at times. You can get the shite fights and all at the weekend. Like I was getting bored watching that card, but McGregor's just fucking everything you want into a shit talk at the backs of him can knock cunts out, but he's not going to lay a glove on Floyd. Floyd's just going to embarrass him. But I think that McGregor doesn't even want to fight anymore. He's only 28 years old, but he's made a lot of money. But it looks as if he just wants that. Let's say he maybe gets like 50 million. I don't think he'll go back to the UFC. I think he'll just fucking retire.
Well, he doesn't need to. I do like those press conferences that the UFC do. Those big open press conferences. They're a lot of fun.
You know the fighters?
Yeah, and they get the crowd involved and everyone asking questions. I think it will look. I mean, boxing's great when you obviously get a good fight, but the other stuff does matter. And when you get a good promotion, and when you get a bit of razzmatazz outside the ring, a bit of razzle dazzle, and you get a good fight, it's all good fun. And that's why I kind of like what Gervonta Davis done with the Liam Walsh fight. The way they came over and just fucking ran riot for like 3 or 4 a week. They was over here, just got in, fucked around, knocked him out, got out again. I think it'll be fun. I'm going to try not to take it too seriously and just try and enjoy it. I know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. But fuck it, go with it. Here's a bit of a spectacle. Here's a bit of a freak show, but fuck it.
I'm just going to do. I'm going to flip flop. Depending on the conversation on Twitter. If people are shitting on Floyd, I'm going to back Floyd up. People shitting on McGregor, I'm going to say McGregor's going to knock out Floyd. I'm just going to pick my battles and I'm going to fucking cause it. It's going to be fucking great.
Do you think it beats Manny Floyd pay-per-view wise?
No. Definitely not. At the 4.4 million, that was fucking mental. Imagine it did. Imagine it fucking did. Then it just set like, you know how people say it'll set boxing back. I don't want pay-per-views in boxing because it's holding fucking boxing back. Because all it just does is encourages other boxers to be greedy and use the money as an excuse not to fucking fight. I want basically prices to, like, people's purses to come down that much where they've got no option but to fucking fight. That's what you want. You want. I'm just going to finish off by saying Al Heyman had the great idea with the PBC. That would see if he implemented that, like all the best fights for the start, it would have probably worked right. That's all I want. Just the best fucking fight, the best. I don't want
that model. That model wasn't long term. That was short term to get all those fighters exposure on, I don't know, the terrestrial TV equivalent in the US to build up their profile and then stick them on fucking shit pay-per-views. But he just didn't quite manage it, did he? He wasn't long term to put boxing on free TV forever. That was a short term play.
I understand that, but I don't know how Hearn turns around and says, "Oh, that's a pay-per-view fight because there'll no fight for that sort of money." Well, you know what you do? You turn around and you say to them, "Well, you're just not getting a fight then, unless you accept this money as on Sky Sports." It's not basically. It's not a lot of the time. It'll not be the fighters. It'll be the fucking promoter that wants it on pay-per-view so they can make the money as well. But
I know it's not cool to talk about money, but I would be quite interested in sitting in on those negotiations because when they talk about pay-per-view, that's just projections. They've got no idea. I mean, I know Hearn says that he reckons he's got a good idea what every fight can sell for, and that's what they base negotiations on. But I just love it if they make a fight and they say, yeah, I'm going to get this much, 5 million, and no cunt buys it. And they'll end up getting whatever their guarantee was, which was about 50 grand, because everything was just top-sided on the pay-per-views. Because if no one buys it, they ain't getting paid.
Right.
Anyway.
Hang on. We could have fucking raged about this, but I just want to see it just for a carry on because, like, obviously you've got so many Americans that hate Floyd Mayweather, and we know who you are. You know who we're talking about, Steve Kevin. I just wanted to happen. Just, but I'm a massive Mayweather fan, but part of me would love to see McGregor win just to piss off boxing because then the MMA fans would just get it right up boxers. Oh, you're fucking greatest fighter of your generation gets fucking smashed.
So one more point before I go. Bellew fight. Does that put any doubt in your mind? Like any doubt at all? Because I was as confident as I am of Floyd to beat McGregor, I was exactly the same for Hay to beat Bellew. So Mayweather been out a while. I know that he's a different athlete. Is there any chance? Is there any chance that Conor lands a left hook?
Well, this is it. Like, I know that it's like, you know how, like, when like Arsenal, like, just for saying sake, plays like a fucking, like, a smaller team in the cup and all that, and it's like, oh, you can't win either way. You pump somebody fucking 6-0, you're expected to, and if you maybe fucking like win 1-0 or draw or that, or you're fucking shite. It's like there's a no-win situation here for Floyd other than the money, but there's a big risk that just the off chance, that just mad off chance that he gets fucking hot in the jaw and just gets couped.
Or just gets injured or something. You know, he's got brittle hands or something goes wrong somewhere. No, he probably wouldn't.
You don't know whether he could get old overnight. You don't know.
No.
But no, Floyd fucking skilled.
Even if Floyd does get injured, Conor's just not a good enough boxer, is he? Anyway.
That's the end. I'd like to thank Alex, who was on the call. Sam fucked off because he's got hay fever. Macho jumped on to stick up for Andre Ward. I am Brian King. Thank you.
Bonjour. Bye.